Alright guys, well we got a few updates for you. We wanted to show you the progress, what we've done so far with this turbo build. Quite a bit of progress since the last time you saw this. Of course we got the header fabricated. We have the turbo mounted right now. We've ran the cooling lines. Just robbed the hose from the oil filter cooler and interrupted that flow, routed it to the bottom side of the turbo, coming back out, back into the radiator here. Also have ran the oil line. This is the pressure side. I'm still waiting on the fit-in for the return side, and our intention is probably going to be to run into the case here like you typically see done. However, now I'm starting to get a little concerned that this might be magnesium. If it is, I'm not sure how well that would weld to aluminum, probably not at all, so we may have to rethink that. But another bit of progress we had made. This is the carburetor we're using, just a 42 millimeter Mikuni flat slide. But I fabricated this little bracket and had the carburetor mounted here. We've since found that the bracket was just too thin of material, too flimsy, so I'm going to refabricate this out of some thicker material, hopefully beef that up to where this will be pretty solid. But then the final little bit to deal with this side here is just to cut our 180 degree bend and make that connection. So I think that's going to work out really well. If you come on over to the other side, I got a few other things to show you. So as you can see down here, we've made our turbo connection. We just bought some 1 3/4 fuel filler neck hose and some 1 3/4 OD aluminum thin wall tubing, and we've cut them to the appropriate lengths over here. And using 90s and 45s, we've been able to make this plumbing work to where we'll come into one of the ram air ducts here, or openings in the frame, and then ultimately what we'll have is basically like a header where we'll have 4 coming out and coming into 1, and then we'll have a band clamp, a typical 2.5 inch band clamp that will join these two together. This will be cut much shorter, but I'm going to hold off on cutting that until we know exactly what that header is going to look like. The angle of this may change. We won't really know until we get that intake fabricated. But one other little bit of information here, we're waiting on our banjo fitting. Got a banjo fit into a 4/8N or AN. I think it's just a JIC flare connector fit in there, but we had to change out this to a double banjo bolt, which we're also waiting on. So that's the oil supply coming to the valve train here. So we'll see how all that works out. So far we're pretty happy with how it's turning out, but in a nutshell, that's where we're at with it. So we'll have more for you as soon as our parts come in.